Hello, good evening. Yes, we are live. We are live Success Mastery. Today is Tuesday. And once again, we are here with our live session. And today we have a special guest. And before I begin to talk about this special guest, I want you to go and share this live streaming, share it with your friends, share it with your family, because you don't want to miss the information that is going to pass in the next 30 minutes. So please take time. We're giving you a few moments to go call all your friends, all your loved ones, and let them get on Success Mastery. And today we have our special guest who happens to also be one of our speakers on Saturday. So Miss An Van Den Bergh.
Hi.
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
Good evening,
yes.
everybody.
Good evening. Now, I just want to share a little bit about Anne. I actually had the privilege to get to know this awesome lady during COVID.
That's true.
COVID was a blessing, and COVID also had its own challenges. But during COVID, I got to know this awesome lady because she also runs her business with her husband, and she also coaches other business people who are just starting businesses. So she doesn't only run a business, but through the experience she gains with her business, she also helps startups to start off well so that they can be successful. Yes. And one thing I personally love about Anne is her heart to help people. During COVID, just a short story. So, I mean, as an entrepreneur, a businessman or woman, all of us were looking for alternatives, how to look at our business models and do something better with it or change things because everything else was changing. There was a lockdown, and we needed to find a way to think outside of the box and to keep our businesses running. And she did such a great job. I remember she came up with some other members of our team, and she set up what we call inspiration sessions for all entrepreneurs. So we come to these group sessions. She did it several times where we were actually made to talk about, okay, where do you want to go with your business? How do you see your business moving? And there was a brainstorm moment among entrepreneurs so that when you left, you were like, okay, so there are so many possibilities, so many things to do. I personally learned so much from those sessions, and they actually helped me come through the COVID very smoothly because it was like, okay, now I need to attack this. I need to do this. Even though it was locked down, but there was so many things we could do with our businesses, on our businesses, because of her initiative and that of other members of our team to do such a beautiful thing during that period. That is what I love about her. So when she decides to coach you, you will be certain that you are having somebody who will truly hold you with the hand and help you set up your business in a way that it can be successful. So if you are joining, I would say take your pen, take a paper, take some notes, because what she's about to share with you, you really will benefit from it. Before we continue with our questions, Anne, is there a word you want to say to the audience? Maybe just introduce yourself, because I've introduced the business part of you, but of course, you also have a whole life that the audience may be interested in knowing.
Thank you for the nice words. I'm a little bit surprised because of the audience. So it's my first time online. So I'm going to try to do my best, but I think it's going to be okay. Thank you for the lovely words. It's true. I love to be inspiring to others. I had a blast with the inspiration sessions. And I think cooperation and motivational working together is the best we can do. Because we are entrepreneurs, and it's a very exciting times, and so let's do this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are surely happy to have you not only today but also on Saturday during our creation event. Now, like I said, there are people who send in questions, so I'm gonna just bombard you with questions. Of course, I know on such a short period, you're not going to be able to answer them all, but at least we're going to do our best to answer as many as possible. The first question that I got here is, what are some of the qualities or characteristics of a successful businessman or woman, according to you?
I can only refer to myself and my career, but driven by passion. And one of my strengths is that I have the gift to see the drive by other people. And that's so important. The passion, the dream you have, make it happen. And a good entrepreneur is someone who sets goals, his goals out straight, but also see the knowledge of people around them. I used to work in a big advertising company in Antwerp, and they said, we believe that emotional relationships between people and companies are worth more than purely transactional ones. And that's so true, because a good entrepreneur sees around him, sees in himself, and is driven by passion. Otherwise, you can't make it till the end, I think.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow, that's a good answer. Yeah. I really love it. So passion. Because passion makes us start. Yeah. I also believe, and I agree totally with you, because usually the reason why you will leave a job to start a business is because you are really passionately driven by that job. Yes. But I think the trick is to keep maintaining the passion, because usually we do start very passionately, but then along the way, like you were saying, we get into too much into the transactional part and we lose our passion. So what you are saying is keep, yeah.
In the morning, I was with a new client, and she started the first conversation with me. She had 2 businesses, and the first business she was passionate about, but the second she was also passionate about, but she got tired from the business, from the things to do. And I made her feel so good this morning, because I thought, my God, you have a lovely business, but you just can't see it anymore. So she lost the passion, and I'm going to try to give it back. So that's true.
Awesome. So what are some of the things you think that causes somebody to lose the passion? Is it
workload? Because many
workload.
times I see it with myself, the workload and the people around them. If you are in a group of people that aren't inspired by, like, for example, having a company or are driven by passion, if you also around yourself with negative people, you lose your passion. If you surround yourself with people who are living the dream and go for the dream, then you will get inspired. So I think a lot of that is happening today with all the things going around in the world. So that's a shame, and that's why I'm here to give back the passion, because I see it many times.
Awesome. I totally agree with you. Yes. So start with your passion, maintain the passion by surrounding yourself with the right people, and also watch out for the workload, that you are not overworked, so that you lose your passion. Wow, that's
that
really
thing is something I would like to speak also on Saturday, because there are many tricks for not losing your passion, but sometimes it's hard if you are just in the room with yourself.
So awesome. I can't wait to hear more of that on Saturday. So the second question goes as this: what are the initial steps for setting up a business legally? So if you can just, I know we don't have time to go really fully, but that's a big question.
I'm going to say the first 2 things, if it's okay for you, because
yes, please.
A little bit. Otherwise, we are here like 10 o'clock. You need a business plan. You really need a business plan, not only for an accountant to start a business, but you do it for yourself. There are many business plans available on the internet. Start with that, but you really need a business plan. And it's a business plan for a year. It's a business plan for 2 years. The business plan you have in 2020 won't be the same business plan in 2023, but you need it. You need to have a view of what is going to happen. Also, because if you start, you have a dream, but just keep also referring to the first dream, and that's your business plan. What are you going to do? So you really need a business plan, not only to be legal, okay, but also for your own visibility, to see what are your goals. And then afterwards, you need to have the form of your company. Like, what sort of company will you be in? But that's a thing that you have to search for with your accountant. That's very important, because you have several. You have eenmanszaak, you have BVBA. All
Belgium, yes.
you have to check, because that's very important, how to set up your business from scratch.
Yeah.
So those are very two important things to start with. It's very important. So
I'm so happy you really mentioned that, and because it is very important when we start a business that we have a picture of it, because that's basically what your business plan is about, so that we don't lose sight of why we started first of all in the first place.
That's correct.
So I really like it that you, because I know there are so many other things you could have talked about, but I like it that you pinpoint that.
It's very important. Also, referring to the first question, how to lose your passion. In the beginning, it's all fun and great, and you go for your goals, but sometimes along the way, you get really hurt sometimes. It's not always great, because sometimes people say, oh, you're an entrepreneur, everything will be fine, you choose your own hours. That's not always true. But if you have a business plan, when you start, nobody has damaged you. And so if you can refer to that, that's so important.
Awesome. And then, of course, knowing which vehicle you are going to use, like you said, whether you're going to go for a limited liability company, or you're going to be a sole proprietor or whatever. That's the vehicle. So at the end of the day, yeah, I really like that. But of course, I know on Saturday we'll touch a little bit more on those issues, but then already, somebody just put in our chat, somebody online, so I'm going to take that question also. He says, how do you balance running a business with a family? Because you do have family as well. Yeah.
Sometimes I scream a lot. Because I always take myself as an example, because there are many business coaches who say, oh, I can give you balance. You have to be honest with yourself. Everybody of us, how good we are, we don't have always balance. It's also the pressure of the world that always comes in your life. I maintain it to be very structured. And the last 5 years, I do a little bit of power training, and I do a lot of sports to keep my head clear. And there are times, like in winter, I sleep enough. I go to bed very early just to maintain everything. One of the tips I can give you to have balance is sometimes you can start very early to work. So sometimes when everybody is asleep, I get up and just work for 1 hour, half an hour. I don't know, because the world is still sleeping, and you can work because nobody is bothering you. And then afterwards the kids stand up, and then I have breakfast. But that's very important. I have many tips. And I think the very important tip is I don't always have a balanced life also. But
I agree with you.
Keep a checklist, and very important, if you can't handle it anymore, it's not weak, it's just your strength if you go and look for other people to help you. Sometimes I sit with a client and I'm just overviewing her agenda. And some clients are very happy with that, because then they see what is happening. Sometimes you think you have a lot of things to do, but sometimes it's just a matter of keeping up with your to-do.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. Your priorities, yes, that's really a good one. Yeah,
sometimes you need some people who tells you that.
True. That's why coaches are important.
That's why I keep the balance, and I do a lot of sports, really. And sometimes it's just a walk, but to be outside, it's very important. You think you don't have time, but the time you give away with your sports, for example, it's time that you have the fog clears up in your head, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you completely. Yeah, I agree completely. So you have it right there. There isn't no balance in life. We all
Sometimes
wish
it
there was
isn't at all.
balance, but it doesn't always work out. And then you have to
Don't
do
be
with
too
what
hard
you
for
have.
yourself. I've
Yeah.
tried for years to maintain my balance. Don't be too hard. Nobody succeeds every day. So if you believe that, it's better for your mind, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's really a good and honest answer. I completely believe that. So our next question is, how much budget do you need to start a business?
That's a difficult one because the Belgian law sets you some limits for some finance. You can't. There are some things you have to do,
Yeah, you
but
can't
it
escape.
depends
Yeah.
a lot on what are you going to do. For example, when I started 15 years ago with my consultancy, I just needed a laptop. I just needed a firm, so I had to pay to start up my firm. It was a small business. So it all depends on what are you doing. If you start a business in production, in goods, it's a lot of that's are many other things.
Mhm.
I think it's very important that you go to your accountant. That's the most important thing. That's your cost because he only knows what are you going to spend and what do you need to spend.
Yeah.
So
And
I can't give you a
a
figure like
figure.
that, but you have also back to your business plan. What do you need? What business are you in?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that is why a business plan is so important, because in your business plan, you're going to state what you're doing and then what you need, because your means to get to be able to do what you're doing. Of course, like you said, if what you're going to do involves machines and all, is different from somebody who is just kind of doing administration or whatever.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
So yeah. So yeah.
Probably if you do machines or goods, it's another business plan.
Mhm.
But what I think many people want to start a business, but they're afraid of the costs. But it doesn't always involve very high costs. You just have to inform yourself very well. There are many sites, there are many subsidies that are are
Available.
to
Yeah.
you. Yes, that are given to you. So you have to search for the good ones. And
Yeah.
sometimes other people can help you with that. So I think there's a lot of possibilities to start a business. Just inform you well and be aware of your business plan. What are you going to do? What is your goal?
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will take this last one because I see our time is just ticking so fast. But we will take this last one. Somebody says, how do you handle customer feedback and support? Because that's also a very important aspect of doing business. Yes.
It's a hard one, I know, because it aren't very good times. Like many people are negative, but you can find the positive people. So to focus me on sometimes my negative clients, for me, as I service my clients all the time in growing their business, it's my priority to give feedback and good support because my clients are in need. So I help them how I maintain my feedback. If feedback is negative, please put it into positive feedback. Sometimes a client says it's harder than he meant. So always think about it. The client needs you, so he's in panic. And also always be gentle because the client comes first, I think. In my business, client comes first. But sometimes the client is also emotional. So I think be the good one, give back support. And if you get overwhelmed by support or giving feedback to a client or getting feedback, I think search for help, search for someone which you can reflect with. It's important because feedback, it's difficult sometimes. It's also loaded very emotional. So for me, my feedback to my client, the feedback I get from clients, I always sleep over for one night. I think about it one night and then I give an answer back. It's very important to run your business with the way you want to be treated yourself.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really a good one.
Thing.
Yeah,
Handle
that's really
the person next to you the way you like to be handled.
awesome. I love that. Because feedback, even though when it's negative, we need feedback. I don't think how it will feel like if everybody says, "Oh, I'm happy," and you never really get any feedback. So we always, even if it's a positive client, a client who is happy, sometimes happy clients don't give feedback.
That's true.
Because they are satisfied, they are okay. And as a business person, you always want to hear, okay, even if they are happy, you want to hear it. And so when negative people come, the way we handle it, I think, just like you said, is so important that we don't take it personal, like they are judging my work, they are judging.
We always remember the negative feedback and not the positive feedback. If you have 10 clients and one is negative, you always refer to that one negative. And that's something I would like to speak about on Saturday, because handle your feedback or your support to your client with a bit of self-care, because we're too hard for ourselves. And that's a little thing I want to speak about on Saturday, because it's so important. Sometimes we get so bruised in our head for the beginning sometimes. So
yeah. I definitely can't wait for Saturday, because I will take notes really, really, because this is so important in running a business, customer care.
Yes, absolutely.
That is what keeps the business flowing.
Self-care.
Yeah.
So let's
self-care and customer care.
Let's talk about the boat on Saturday, how important it is. Let's get inspired.
Awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we could go on just like you can hear over and over. And thank you so much. I know you have many things going. This is a busy day, home and the business front, but thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to be here. And I'm already very excited for Saturday. So for those of you who have not grabbed your ticket yet, we have to tomorrow. Woo! You have to tomorrow to do that. 15th is the last day that our tickets will be running, because then we will close up the registration and we'll be going straight to the event itself on Saturday. So do go to our Eventbrite on Instagram. You can go to our live tree and click on the creator, and you will see all the information for registration. Be there. The day is fully packed. And just like Anne said, two things she's gonna surely talk about: self-care and customer care. And those are very important things in running a business. When you feel good, you are able to treat your clients good. So make it to us. Saturday, our event starts exactly at 10 a.m. At Crown Plaza. So please check us out, like I said, on our information board on Instagram and social media, also on Facebook, and get your ticket and then make it there. Bring somebody along. If you register for a VIP ticket, you get to bring somebody free with you. We just heard, if you surround yourself with people who are also inspiring, you stay inspired. So bring somebody along who will get this information with you, and together you can go home and brainstorm over it and do something with it. That's how you surround yourself with like-minded people. So make it down. Our merchandise was just shown. It's also on Eventbrite. You can get your copy. We are wearing our t-shirts, so that you can also come with your t-shirts on Saturday whilst we all go through this session together. We have 10 to 2, sorry, a session, and then we have a break. And then in the evening, we come back again with a time of investment, everything you need to know about investing, everything you need to know about what to invest in. Last week, we had a little bit of it from Miss Leona Clark on what to invest in. So make it come. If you have money sitting where you are just spending it, ladies, buying things we don't need, it's good to know how to invest something somewhere so that some time to come, you will look back and smile. So make it there on Saturday after our time of investment session, networking with other ladies and gentlemen. We will be going straight into our after party. So don't forget to bring your dancing shoe. We will end the whole day with a lot of dancing, a lot of celebration. We look forward to having you on Saturday. And remember, success is yours. Success is not for just a limited, selective few. Everybody can be successful. But of course, you must be ready to go for it and work for it. Thank you for plugging in. And this is our last live before the event. So we look forward to having you. And once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And see you on Saturday for more.